What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream transfer update today. Just a quick one today, but obviously there is transfer news going around. Mikel Arteta had his press conference today, and it looks like Arsenal may be getting rid of a couple more players before the window closes. The window does close next week, and that'll be it until the end of the season. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Broads. Make sure you go and subscribe to my brother Broads TV. He said we need to keep Ainsley Maitland-niles. Wakey. There you go. I think I was a minute late today. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. It's that Jamaica time again, people saying, man, you know. I've got to cut that out still. It's not a good look. Big up Curtis. Do we have any attacking mids available? We desperately need one. Do you have any? Well, we may have one, actually. We may have one. But we'll get into that shortly. Give us 10 million and Bertrand seems like a good sweetener. Big up Curtis Alju. We must be favourites for the United game. You would think so after what happened to them the other day, but I think it's dangerous still to get overconfident, you know. 20 mil for Brewster, who hasn't played, scored in the Premier League. Cash in for Eddie. Well, listen, you know me. You know I'd be happy to see Eddie moved on at the right price. But listen, I think he'll be here till the end of the season at least. Great to see you as always, Curtis. Big up, bro. Box clips, big up the Knots, man. Them respect, bro. And let's do this Saturday big game. Obviously, as you can see by the title today, Ainsley Maitland-niles could be on his way to Southampton now. Initially, the rumor was that he could be going to West Brom on loan until the end of the season. Sam Allardyce has made an offer to sign him until the end of the season, but Southampton have come in for him, and it seems like Arsenal and Ainsley Maitland-niles would prefer to go to Southampton. I mean, can you blame them? We know that there's a good chance West Brom are going to get relegated. They lose him most weeks. What is Ainsley going to achieve by going there? Obviously, he's been in the England squad quite a lot of late, and he wants to go to that European Championships this summer. Now, a move to Southampton, I think, would be a very good move for him. My only question would be, number one, these are two questions I want to ask. Number one, should we be letting Ainsley Maitland-niles go? With a lot of games in short periods of time, we've still got the Europa League and the Premier League. Should we be keeping him? Do we need his strength and depth and versatility? And the second one, should we be letting him go to Southampton, who are around us in the league table? You know, should we be strengthening a team that is close to us? They're my two questions, people. Let me know. Leo Messi, Surfing and Sneaker, says, Arsenal want Curtis Shaw on 50 million loan. I've rejected the offer, bro. I'm staying at AFTVFC until the end of the season. Now, big up, man. Thank you for the super chat, man. Curtis Mijena, are you Jamaican, bro? Come on, bro. You don't know, man. Come on. You know? Halfway Tree, Kingston, man. Hope Road. Come on, my bro. He wants to play centre mid. Yeah, well, let's have a look at the news story and how it's being reported. So, David Ornstein. Southampton enter the race to sign Ainsley Maitland-niles on loan. Contacted Arsenal in the last 24 hours. Arsenal want that over West Brom or a rival, which seems like an interesting way of putting it. Are Southampton not one of the rivals? You know, they obviously don't consider Southampton a rival. I mean, Southampton are 1 point behind us with a game in hand. So to me, that is a rival. But anyway, Arsenal obviously, in their head, they think we're bigger, badder, and better than Southampton. Cool, I'll take it. Could raise fresh questions about Ryan Bertrand's future, but the Saints want to keep him and add Ainsley Maitland-niles. Now, first of all, where would Ainsley Maitland-niles play for Southampton? Would he play right back? Would he play centre midfield? We've heard these reports that he wants to play in the middle of the park. He doesn't see himself as a fullback, although he is willing to play there if asked to do so. So where would he play for Southampton? What position? Would we use Ainsley going to Southampton as a sweetener to say, listen, we want Ryan Bertrand. We need a left back as cover for Tierney. Bertrand's out of contract in 6 months. And, you know, we'll give you Ainsley on loan. If you give us Bertrand maybe on loan till the end of the season, then we could sign Bertrand on a free. So that is an interesting situation. of course, I don't blame Ainsley for wanting to go to Southampton over West Brom. West Brom is a horrible move. Southgate, I don't think would view that in any positive light, really, seeing him at a team that gets beat every week. And I don't think that would necessarily help him get in the England squad. I just find it interesting that Arsenal say, they would want him to go to Southampton, over West Brom or a rival when they're a point behind us with a game in hand. In theory, Southampton are one of our rivals. But listen, hey, there we go. I think the loan would be great for Ainsley. It draws more questions as to why was Ainsley not sold in the summer. We rejected £20 million from Wolves in the summer to keep him, to then not play him, and then you keep him, and then we're going to end up loaning him out to a team that we're kind of in competition with. Doesn't make sense. LG92, I knew if you was in here today, I knew you would have a smile on your face. Man said, Curtis, best news I've heard all day. I knew you'd be happy with that one. But hey, Arteta lied to Ainsley about the amount of playing time when Ainsley stayed in the summer after we rejected 20 million from Wolves. I agree. He was definitely given false promises, because why would he have stayed at the club? I thought Wolves at the time was a fantastic move for Ainsley, I really thought that would be a good move for him. And Arsenal rejected it. They've kept him there and basically not played him all season, which is crazy. Build a relationship with Southampton. I would consider Walker-Peters and Ward-Prowse coming to Arsenal. I'm not the biggest fan of Walker-Peters, he's all right, but I don't see him as a big upgrade on Bellerin. Ward-Prowse, I would be interested in him. I do rate him. I do definitely rate him. Mark my words, Ainsley will not go to the Euros. You never know. Sometimes your versatility helps you get in those England squads, The fact he can play left back, right back, wing back, centre midfield, that may get him in there. You never know. But it's interesting. As I said, what do you guys make of it? Are you happy that Ainsley's going? Or do you think we should have kept him even as a squad player until the end of the season? And if we were to sell Ainsley Maitland-Niles, how much money would you want for him? Dub King said it's good for him to play for the national team and good for us too. I hope Eddie goes too, or Balogun. Jonathan says maybe now Ainsley Maitland-Niles as an England international is worth 25 to 30 million. I think we'd be closer to the 20 million mark. But yeah, I would like to think we could get 25 for him if he goes to Southampton and does really well. Shomzo said like and subscribe to Curtis. Big up. I appreciate that. Big up Broads as well in the chat. Obviously, like I said, make sure you go and subscribe to him. Man said 100 million for Ainsley, bro. I don't know what you've been drinking this morning, bro. He is a good player, though. Ainsley has been treated horrible by the club. Wish him all the best. The club don't deserve him. Arteta, at least. Big up, Big C. I do think Mikel Arteta has treated him bad. A young player come through the system at Arsenal, gets in the England squad, gets an opportunity to move to Wolves at a decent price. That deal probably worked for everybody, and you reject it, keep him at the club, don't play him, and end up chucking him out on loan. I don't rate that. I think they should have had a little bit more respect for him. And if he really knew he wasn't going to play him, why did you keep him? Ebby said England will bottle the Euros, might as well stay at home. Well, I think most of their games are at Wembley anyway, so I don't think we're going to have to travel far, but you never know. England might surprise us and do better than we expect. Marshall says, I ain't even an Arsenal fan, but definitely love what Big C does. Great content as always, bro. Liverpool fan for life. Hope you guys beat United. Hope you guys tuned in for the Tottenham-Liverpool watch-along yesterday. That was a very good game, actually. I enjoyed that. Liverpool turned Tottenham over. Deserved win. But I appreciate you tuning in. Just before I forget, I will be back at 6 p.m. tonight with Saeed. I'm sure you've all seen his clip that went viral on Ranch Channel the other day. And we'll be doing the Arsenal-Man United preview. We'll do a combined 11, all those kind of things. So join us at 6 p.m. for that one. 30 million max for Ainsley. Great game last night. Was a good game. I think Liverpool surprised people. They've literally got no centre-backs at the moment. LG said, I'd sell Ainsley for a packet of salt and vinegar crisps. You're harsh, man. You're harsh. Let's look at the other situation. More news has come to light about Arsenal and players potentially leaving. Joe Willock is available for loan with his game time limited. Joe Willock. At the start of the season, I thought this guy had a big season in him. I thought he's the only midfielder in the Arsenal team that makes them third man runs that Aaron Ramsey used to make, where he runs beyond strikers. He looks like he's got an eye for goal. And I genuinely thought that Joe Willock would have a chance of succeeding this year. If you're not going to succeed as a centre midfielder this year in this Arsenal squad, you're really going to struggle to make it. And I don't think he's taken his opportunity. I kind of like Joe Willock, but his end product has been nowhere near good enough. There's talk of him going on loan. I think a loan would be good for him. To me, he hasn't had enough football. And Joe Willock there looks like he could be on his way out. What are your thoughts on that? The interesting thing with this as well, more on the Ainsley Maitland-niles report, it said other Arsenal players who could leave in the next few days include Reiss Nelson and Mustafi. So we could potentially be seeing Ainsley Maitland-niles, Reiss Nelson, Joe Willock and Mustafi leaving. Now, I wouldn't expect all four to leave, but I think at least one or two of them will leave the club over the next few days. I mean, there's been crazy rumours going around. As you can see, Mustafi is trending, saying that Liverpool may take Mustafi on a 6-month loan deal. Of course, Joel Matip got injured yesterday. Gomez is injured. Van Dijk's injured. They have no fit centre-backs. Even Fabinho went in at centre-back, has got injured now. They've only got Henderson at the moment playing there. And, you know, we know he's a centre midfielder. So could Mustafi go to Liverpool on loan? That would be a crazy one. But interesting that no Eddie Nketiah. You know, of course, Mikel Arteta is not going to let, you know, his stepson Eddie Nketiah go on loan. He's definitely going to keep him in the mix until the end of the season. What do you guys think about that? Would you be happy with Reiss Nelson going on loan, with Joe Willock going on loan? And, you know, would you rather keep one or two of them to help us towards the end of the season? I kind of look at Reiss Nelson at the moment, with the amount of options we've got out wide, with Pepe, with Saka, with Willian. I think there's too much traffic in front of Nelson to get game time at the moment. So I think a loan would be good for him. And Joe Willock, for me, one of the most frustrating players that I've seen at Arsenal. You know, he's definitely got talent, but he's not smart in the head. He makes poor decisions in the final third. So again, a loan I think would be good for him. What do you guys think? Man said, Stepson, you know Arteta loves his boy Eddie Nketiah, man. He ain't letting him go nowhere. Willock is very overrated. Yeah, he's so frustrating to watch. He's got pace. He's got a bit of power. But when he gets in great positions and then really doesn't do anything when he gets in those positions. Reiss Nelson, for me, I really thought Reiss Nelson was going to have a big season. You know, I thought he's been so hyped about in the under 23s, playing for England under 21s. And I got to be honest, I don't think Nelson's done hardly anything in the first team. I don't think he's made any real impression to suggest his long-term future will be at Arsenal, you know. I think there's a possibility for Nelson, Willock, and Nketiah, Maitland-niles, all of them guys to be sold in the summer. I wouldn't get rid of all of them, but you could make a case for all of them to be gone. Eddie out. Yeah, for me, I mean, look, Balogun played for the Arsenal under 23s today. They drew 1-1 with Tottenham. It was an early kickoff. So obviously, again, the fact Balogun was involved today will probably mean that Balogun is not on the bench again tomorrow. I mean, we're not surprised. We're not surprised at all. But is he going to get a chance? He still hasn't signed a contract. It's a crazy situation. Now, Mikel Arteta did say in the press conference that he didn't rule out the possibility of Arsenal bringing a player in this window. I think we all know that Arsenal are still looking potentially at left-backs to come in as backup for Kieran Tierney. What left-back we bring in, I don't know. I'm sure there's a list of names that they're looking at. But I think it will be more about players going out. Gunnar Girl said, I don't get the whole Balogun saga. Something doesn't make sense. What I've heard about it, and listen, I don't want to act like some kind of ITK, like I know exactly what's going on. There was an offer last year from Sheffield United and also from Brentford, apparently around £5 million. Now, when a club wants to pay £5 million for a young teenager, they would have obviously offered him a much better wage than he is on at Arsenal. So I think he's gone into negotiations asking for a much bigger wage than Arsenal would have probably expected because of what these clubs have offered him. And also, he has this very strong belief that he should be involved in the first team squad, which I agree with. So I think he's going in there saying, listen, I want to be in the first team squad and I want this much money. And I think Arsenal are kind of saying, we're not going to pay you that much money and you've got traffic in front of you kind of thing. So, obviously Fabrizio Romano said 15 clubs have inquired about signing him. So that tells you the level of quality, including Liverpool. When Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp are looking at you, then there's a talent there. So I think he's got a bigger ego than Arsenal kind of expect. But I think they need to be cut for it with it and make a decision. To me, if I was Arsenal, I would have said, listen, this January, you have to sign that contract or we will sell you and try and make some money off you. There's no way we can just allow him to walk out the door. So anyway, that's where we are with those situations. Over 500 of you in here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I want to know what you guys think. Ainsley Maitland-niles, more than likely going to Southampton. It was West Brom. As Ozzy's saying here, yo, big up Curtis, wasn't it Maitland-niles to West Brom? It has changed. It has developed. And it looks as if Ainsley will be going to Southampton, not to West Brom, as was being reported in the first place. Arsenal favour the move to Southampton, which I do find interesting because I do look at Southampton as a team that we're competing with, but Arsenal obviously don't feel threatened by Southampton after we beat them the other day, which is a little bit crazy, man. Expressions, but people are saying it's not his real account. Broad saying fake expressions detected. Why do people do this, man? It's mad. Big up Omar, man. He said Arteta don't rate the kid. How much would you want for Ainsley Maitland-niles if he left? To me, I think 20 million plus would be a good deal. If we were to, get 20 million for him. Reece Nelson, if we could get 12 to 15 million. Joe Willock, 12 to 15 million. You can make money off these players, man. With Brexit coming in, you do have to have a certain amount of British players in your squad now. Ainsley for 20 million. I actually think he's quite cheap. If he played for Liverpool, who are unbelievable at selling players, they sold Ryan Brewster for 25 million. They sold Solanke for like 15 to 20 million, who'd done nothing in the first team. It's crazy. Maitland-niles, realistically, as a 22-year-old England international, versatile, playing for Arsenal, we should be getting close to 30 million for him. But the reality is we won't, because we're so poor in the market. And I agree with this from Ollie. Saints won't pay 20 million. Southampton do not often spend big money, so I think it may be a case of do well at Southampton and then someone else buys him. There was this rumor going around yesterday that a current top 4 team had inquired about Ainsley Maitland-niles and Arsenal had rejected it. Which, again, this is what I'm saying. I don't understand. Why do they not view Southampton as a rival, but a top 4 team is a rival? And the rumour I heard was that it was Leicester. Leicester were inquiring about Ainsley Maitland-niles. Now, and here's a Leicester fan in here as well at the time. Curtis, we also sold Slabhead for 80 and Drinkwater for 30. There you go. Surely, bro, that was the rumour. Obviously, Man City, Man United, Leicester, Liverpool, they're the top 4 at the moment. The rumour I heard was that it was Leicester. Brendan Rodgers, he's a young English player. I think Brendan might have looked at him and thought, he's got versatility. He can play all around the back 4 in the middle of the park. He's English. I know he's good friends with James Maddison. Apparently that was the rumour that it was Leicester, but apparently Arsenal were not interested in it. How true that is, I don't know. But the rumour was definitely true that a top 4 club had inquired. Looking into it, everyone was saying that it was Leicester. You can't imagine Man City, Man United coming in for Ainsley Maitland-niles or Liverpool, to be honest. People were all saying it was Leicester. Although he's saying, no, it's not us. We already have JJ, Castagne, Ricardo. I would rather take Nelson. Yeah, obviously, Damari Gray's being linked with a move away from Leicester, so maybe they would have needed a winger. Arsenal are the worst sellers ever. All they can do is sell merch. You ain't telling no lies there, my bro. You know, when it comes to selling players, we get bumped. I think only 2 good deals we've ever really done were Alex Iwobi, which I thought was an unbelievable deal, and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Although at the time I wasn't happy with the Oxlade-Chamberlain deal because I felt like he was a talented player that we should have kept. But the way it's worked out for him at Liverpool, he hasn't really done well. And they love selling merch. That's for real. Lloydish says, "Hi Curtis, I love your content. Keep it going. Big up, bro, as always." Jose wanted him, didn't he? I don't know about that one. That there was a rumor, that Tottenham were interested, but it never really surfaced whether that was true or not. Anelka was the best deal. What did we get? 20 odd million. I mean, that was a lot of money at the time, but nah, man, Anelka was a superstar. We bought him at a good price, Curtis, but I agree that Rodgers would turn Ainsley into a 50 million player. He would get more out of him, that's for certain, way more. Arteta clearly doesn't like something about his attitude, He's called him out a number of times. Even in the press conference, he said, look, Ainsley, he needs to fight, he needs to work hard in training. So are you implying that he doesn't work hard in training? And what I kind of ask is, when these younger players do have slight, maybe attitude issues or certain things like that, is that not where your man management skills have to come into play? Balogun, he doesn't seem to be managing that situation great. Guendouzi, you wanted to get him out the door. Now Ainsley, you want him out. Sometimes surely you have to put your arm around these players and say, listen, this is what I want from you. This is what you need to do. Although, listen, on the flip side, maybe I'm wrong and maybe Arteta has said that to him and he hasn't listened. Capillan said, I think it was United. We need a right back to compete with Wan-Bissaka. We were linked to him in the summer. That would be interesting. As I said, the rumour was it was Leicester, but it could have been. Maxwell said, Arteta said Ainsley is not doing enough in training. That's why he's not getting any game time. So Willian must be a beast in training because he gets picked for every game. You can imagine it, innit, I don't always have this mentality that, the way you train is the way you play. If you're great in training, I'll pick you. There was rumours, it was common knowledge. Chelsea said all the time, Eden Hazard, one of the worst trainers. Hazard himself said he does the bare minimum in training. He said, I just look at training as to keep me fit and to get through it. That is it. But on a match day, Hazard was Chelsea's best player. So by Arteta's theory, would you have dropped Eden Hazard because he doesn't train hard enough? Like, I get it. Maybe with the younger players who are not at that supreme level, you need to see, hard work in training. But listen, Ainsley's one of them, jack of all trades, master of none. Sometimes being able to play everywhere doesn't actually work in your favor because you are not a specialist in any particular position. And I kind of look at Ainsley like that. When he plays centre mid where he said he wants to play, is he good enough to play there for Arsenal? At right back, he had an opportunity. Ainsley was in the team for a year while Hector Bellerin was injured. And he never really grabbed that right back position by the scruff of the neck. The way that Trent Alexander-Arnold did at Liverpool, when Nathaniel Klein got injured. So I think with Ainsley, look, I feel sorry for him. I feel like Mikel Arteta has not treated him great. But the one thing you can say, Ainsley has had opportunities at Arsenal to prove himself, to be a cert in the team. You've allowed people like Smith Rowe and Saka to come from way back, way behind where, Ainsley was in the team before these guys were getting game time. So listen, I think Ainsley on loan makes sense for him. And listen, I think if he can go to Southampton, get 15 games plus in, get in that England squad, it does one or two things. It either brings a better player back to Arsenal next season, or we sell him at an inflated price because, number one, he's had a good half a season. And number two, hopefully he gets picked for that European Championships just for the fact that he's so versatile. May get him in there. Big up Fran, he said, Ainsley is a good squad player, but he needs to play regular at this stage, so a loan would be perfect. Go and check out Fran's channel, Forever Football with Franny Green. Willock also needs a loan with regular football. I mean, when I watch Joe Willock, I just see a player that hasn't played enough football. His decision-making is not good enough. This is where sometimes the under-23 situation, I've spoken about it so many times, at times these players, you will get the odd player, the Saka, the Smith Rowe that come straight out the under-23s and just light up the first team. But on the other hand, you need 4 or 5 of these players to go out on loan, get 30, 40 games in a first team and come back, and they will understand football. Joe Willock would benefit from a 40-game season in the Championship, or go and get 30 games at a bottom 6, bottom 7 club in the Prem and learn. Smith Rowe went to Huddersfield, had that relegation scrap, played 30 games. He came back a stronger player. It makes a massive difference for some of these players. Over 600 in here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I will be out of here in 5 minutes. Busy day today. I'm going on Wax Online's channel today at 3:30. Come and check that one out. And I'll be back on here at 6 with Saeed. I'm sure you've all seen Saeed lately if you didn't know who he was. He went viral for his reaction, Man United fan, when they lost to Sheffield United. And he'll be on here at 6. Arsenal versus Man United preview. We'll do a 11, a mixed 11. And, we'll be talking about Man United and Pogba and Arsenal and Arteta, Ollie, all those things, 6 p.m. So make sure you join me for that one as well. Saeed is something else, man. Honestly, the funniest guy, proper passionate Man United fan, Manchester born and bred. He's funny, man. Join me for that at 6 p.m. This is just a quick one. The social media derby, man. Listen, growing up, we all knew that Man United v Arsenal was the biggest game in the Prem. That's no disrespect to Liverpool, to any other team. Man U v Arsenal, Keane and Vieira, Jaap Stam and Sol Campbell, Omri and Van Nistelrooy. They were the games, man. They were the games. There was no bigger game in the Prem than that game. We're not where we are now, both teams, especially us, but still a big game to watch. Would you take Pogba at Arsenal, bro? Come on. All day long, I would take Pogba. Imagine Pogba and Thomas Partey, bro. That would be mad. That would be an absolute crazy midfield. Saeed is a proper United fan for once. Yeah, he's a proper United fan, man. I'm saying 2-1, but if we lose, I'm not predicting a win for the rest of the season. I've gone for 2-1 as well. But I don't know. It's risky. It's one of them games that, we could win, lose, draw. Anything could happen. It's that up in the air. I knew it. I bloody knew it. Saeed, man, his channel is United Central. Good channel. Nearly 30,000 subscribers, man. He's quality, man. I'll be bantering him later about that, but not too much, because if I banter him too much and they beat us, man, it's mad. It's mad. Big up Saeed. Don't attend if you're a sensitive Arsenal fan. Yeah, if you're sensitive, people, you won't want to see it, because he turns up talking smoke about Arsenal and that. But don't worry, I'll defend us, man. But no, it'll be a good one at 6, man. He's a proper funny character, man. Top quality guy, man. United fans were saying we're favourites. Agree. It's mad, isn't it? Because of the fact we beat United away from home, we're on a good run of form now. And the fact they lost to Sheffield United, it kind of flips everyone's mentality a little bit. That maybe we're favourites now, but it's a tricky one. It depends on team selection, man. I want to see Cedric at right back, with Tierney back at left back. I hope he doesn't bottle it and just play Hector Bellerin at right back, because Bellerin's been getting ripped apart, man. And Rashford against Bellerin, that scares me, man. I don't want to see that, to be honest. Every left winger seems to be excelling against Bellerin. Not everyone, but most of them. And I would like to see Tierney back at left back. Will Aubameyang be involved? Doesn't sound like he's gonna be. Doesn't sound like he's gonna be involved. Just subscribe to his channel to see you, bro. It'll be on here. I'm sure he's delighted you've subscribed, but it'll be on this channel, 6 p.m. Me and Saeed We'll do the starting lineups. We'll do our predicted 11, and we'll do a combined 11 at the end of it. Big up my boy Don Draper. Make sure you go and follow him on Twitter. Brilliant account for transfers and everything. Big up Big C. They are title contenders. They are the favourites. That's the way you've got to look at it. But we're just clinging on to that. They lost to Sheffield United. We're on a good run of form, and we beat them away from home. Tonight going to be a lit stream with Saeed. Make sure you check that out at 6 p.m. on this channel, and we'll be going in on that. Big up, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I'll be back at 6 p.m. Go and subscribe to Broads. Go and subscribe to Forever Football with Franny Green. Go and follow Don Draper on Twitter. 6 p.m. Me and Saeed, Arsenal v Man United preview. Have a good day, people. Bless.